So, I want to talk about my year-ish with Moby Dick. Um, so, I after actually I read a good post on the Defector about couple years ago. I remember I was reading it bored at my old office job, and they were going through Moby Dick, and it was a really good blog. It's something I always wanted to do. Reading a lot of classic literature, Moby Dick is like one of the big ones, right? It's like one of the tent poles and one of the most like intimidating and challenging books there is. And I thought that'd be cool to work through. Uh, for try to, I originally wanted to do it in like 4 months. I even dated out each chapter, and that did not work. Moby Dick proved to be as challenging and as drab as parts of it can be, but also just exceptional and one of the funniest books I've ever read. Even though the funny parts are in like you could probably calculate it within a couple chapters. Um, so I remember I had this ritual during that year when I was reading a couple years ago. Moby Dick was during the time where I'd taken a step back from work and was going part time, while my wife was working in the ortho department overnight as a nurse at a hospital, and I also had taken that step back as we had moved into a new apartment, and we had a lot of change. I had pretty much taken on the role of full time dad, and respective of hours, and at the end of my days with my beautiful girls, whether they had gone to school or not that day, and cooked many meals and picked up many toys and wiped many butts and gave many baths and played many a Barbies. I would put the girls down to bed. They'd fall asleep. I'd put a nice candle on. I'd play this awesome liminal playlist off of Spotify, and I'd open up Moby Dick. And man, those first months and those first couple chapters, that was such a beautiful kind of ritual. Um, it was something I really looked forward to at the end of the day. It was something I really appreciated. Um, I still will never forget the chapter of just Ishmael sharing a bed with Queequeg. I don't want to ruin anything. I really just want to post this because, number one, no one's going to watch this. But number two, just from my own recollection and just being like, man, if it's not worth it. As time fell on, I kind of fell off of it. I ended up getting another version of it because it had some good annotated notes, and um, he ended up doing audiobooks at some points to continue when I was like driving, or I remember I was sick at one point, and I was like in and out, and I had this very interesting hallucinatory experience with Moby Dick. Um, so what did I get from it? Well, it felt like the internet. Let me try to explain that a little more. It is such a comprehensive and interesting book, specifically about whales, but really about humanity, society, obsession, um, religion. Even the way he plots out the first chapter is just his references and the sources you can go for his references. It just feels like the internet in a weird way. I don't know if anyone else felt that, but like this was written in the 1800s, and the way it subs itself and quotes, it's a very it's an incredibly exhaustive and interesting book in so many ways. Um, Obviously, there's so much of it is connected to the Old Testament and all that kind of stuff. But man, Ahab is detestable and miserable. Queequeg is the best. Ishmael is faceless in a lot of ways, but not. And yeah, so I ended up finally finishing it. I trudged through it. I breezed through the first half of the book, but man, once it got into I need to reread the chapter just on whiteness alone because it's such an important chapter, but it's mired in so much monotony of the whaling industry and whales in general. It's incredible, but it's hard. It's a hard read. I can only compare it to during my Bible school years, going through studies of Leviticus, or the exhaustive laws of the Hebrews, early Hebrew tribes. But I'm so grateful I did it. It's one of the things I'm most grateful I've done in my life. That's how much it means to me. That's how much that time will mean to me. I will always think about my time of working through Moby Dick as a very unique time in my life. I do want to do it again. I think I'll probably do it again when I turn 40 in a couple of years. because I think it's very much worth it. I get it. Is it one of my favorite books? Absolutely not. Is it one of my favorite books? If you ask me on another day, absolutely. But very grateful for my year with Moby Dick, and I would encourage you to do the same.